None of these emulation consoles are perfect, and anybody claiming that they are perfect is trying to sell you something. I have 20 questions that you all ask me that I'm going to go over and clear up so that you can bring back the memories from your childhood and actually enjoy these things. Because I know for a fact you are also going through your midlife crisis, just like your boy right here, and why you're interested in grabbing one of these things is so that you can play those games. Now, I do want to say something really quickly before we get into this video. This is not a quick sales pitch of a review of these consoles. So if you do not like the more conversational style of content, that this is not the video or channel for you, and you do not have to watch me. So let's get into the first kind of question that everybody asks. Is this game on it? Is that game on it? So on Kinhank's website, this is Kinhank's website right here that of course is going to take forever to load. This is the X5 Pro console. And if you scroll down, there's this game list. And when you click that and you scroll down through all the popular games, there's going to be the full retro game console list. They have the MP100 and all the consoles that Kinhank sells. So this is the X5 Pro. So I'm gonna the 4 terabyte. So I'm gonna click this one, but they also have the 12 terabyte drive, which we've made videos on. They do have 2 different versions. One of them has RetroBat, Launchbox, Kodi, Play Night, and one other thing that I'm having a brain fart moment. They have their Super Console X Cube, the Super Console X2 Pro, Super Console X King. I buy all of my stuff from Amazon just for peace of mind. I don't like putting my credit card in more websites than need be. So anyways, when you click that, the link right here, it's going to bring you over to a Google Docs, and all of the consoles that are on this thing are going to be listed. And when you click it, you click the PS2, and here's each and every single game for the PS2 that is on this thing. So if you're looking for a specific game, that's all you have to do. You just quickly go over to their website and browse the games if there's like a specific game that you want on this thing. Now, I do want to say something. The reason that this only has 16,000 games is as you can see with the PS2 here, like it has every single, or not every single, but it has a lot of PS2 games. It's got like 600 something PS2 games. It's got a ton of GameCube games. And that is why there's not as many games as these smaller 100,000 video game consoles, is because those 100,000 video game consoles have the American Aladdin, the European Aladdin, the Japanese Aladdin, this country's Aladdin, that country's Aladdin, so like whatever. The huge benefit of those like massive game list consoles is this: ROM hacks. They all have a ton of ROM hacks on them. So let's quickly go over the second question. Now that I went over this, is the Kinhank X5 Pro actually plug and play, or does it need to be set up? So if we come over here, it is plug and play pretty much. When you see this little 4 terabyte hard drive, what you end up having to do is I don't want to do this live with you guys and eat up all of your time. I want to make this video as quick as possible. Of course, they're not going to show you. But anyways, there's a little plug. This right here has a cable. You plug it into this hard drive and boom, you're done. That's literally all you have to do. The only con to the X5 Pro that I see personally is it looks kind of ugly with the hard drive sticking out of it. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can grab like a little case or box or something from Amazon. They do have hard drive case, hard drive case. They have these little hard drive cases. I mean, you can like grab one. They're $20. I mean, I know it's more money that you have to spend, but I'm guessing you have something laying around that you could just like wrap around it. That's really the only con that I see with that thing. So if we go over to the second question, is how smooth is the gameplay on the higher end systems like PS2, GameCube, and Dreamcast? So for the PS2, like this was designed for PS2 and GameCube. So like those consoles run extremely good on this. Like I mean, it really depends, because one of the most overlooked things that people don't like forget about with these consoles is not just the upscaling, but the shaders that you're gonna start adding onto these, because those shaders also eat up horsepower from whatever it is that you're using. So PS2, if you're upscaling it, you're going to be perfectly fine upscaling it to 1440p or 4K. You're not going to have any issues. That emulator was optimized very well. But where you are going to start running into problems is when you start adding shaders. Like if you start adding the CRT filters and stuff of that nature, that's when you're going to start running into the lag, because those are eating up more power from the actual console than just upscaling it to 1440p or 4K. So what emulators come pre-installed, and can you add your own emulators? So this is kind of a double dipping question that I'm going to answer right here. So these are like all the consoles on it. Like it literally has every single, I don't know what other console you would want to add to this other than Xbox. And if you plan on adding Xbox, no, it will not play this. No mini PC on the market will even run Xbox, including the 8945HS, the 7945HS. You need a dedicated PC for Xbox, and even a low-end gaming PC with a dedicated graphics card, you really need something like a 4070 or a 5060, something like that, because those emulators, I don't want to say they were unoptimized, but they were not designed, or they're just, the platform is hard to run. Like the Xenia and the Xenia Canary, those emulators are not, they're very difficult to run. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like Borderlands 4, as an example. Every other PC game runs at 4K, 240 FPS, no issue. You're just sending it through each game, and then Borderlands 4 comes out, you throw it at your 5090, your $5,000 computer, and you get in 30 frames per second. So it's a good example of the Xbox emulator. So while yes, you can technically, because this is running Android, this is what this is using is just Android. Like, so when people ask, can you add your own emulators? Can you add your own ROMs? Can you do all of this stuff? You can, but I personally would not do that. At least for me, the whole purpose of buying these things is so that you can buy it, set it up, and play games. Like you buy these because you don't want to set it up yourself. It's kind of the whole point of buying these things. And if you don't want to do that, like you're not really buying this. You're going to go buy that 12 terabyte hard drive, find the ROMs folder, and then just delete everything else on it, and then set up your own RetroBat, set up your own Launchbox, set up your own this, set up your own that. You know what I mean? Like you're not buying one of these things to add games to it and then add emulators to it. You know, that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, so technically you can, it's running Android, you can install your emulators, but really the only thing that I would do is update the emulators. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and double dip here. How you update these things is, like when you update these, like, bruh, how to update Kinhank X5 Pro. Like Kinhank has like a short little 1-minute video on it, like this right here, how to update the system. And when you do this, relax. Like as you can see, this is the interface. You just literally go into the settings, and you just click update. Like it's not hard to, I don't want to steal their video and get this copyrighted, you know what I mean? But yeah, you literally just connect it to the internet and update it. It's running Android. So when people ask, how do you update the emulators? That's literally, it's super simple to do. Like it doesn't take much time. So anyways, let's move on to the next question, since I covered a couple there. Can you install additional ROMs, and how easy is that process? Yet again, going back to what I said, of course you can add your own ROMs, but when you do this, this is what you have to do. You have to go, first you have to go find the ROM that you want to add to it. Second, you have to get into the actual Android system, find the ROMs folder, find the console folder, find the ROMs inside of the console folder, add that game to that folder, go back into the I get a brain fart, RetroBat or Emulate. Oh my God, a brain fart moment here. I forget what the system is. Go into that. Then you got to scrape it for the box art. Then you got to scrape it for the description. Then you got to get the video, you know? So like when you get these things, dude, like you're literally intentionally buying these so that like you can have this one, grab a different one, and then just kind of do that. Because if you're for legal reasons, man, I cannot tell you where to go and get the games for these systems. But it's just like it is just common sense. You use the internet. It's just, it's just like okay. Like I understand, man, when I was getting into this stuff, I was afraid of like the security stuff as well. Okay. But like if you like just if you just ask the question on Reddit or something, you're pretty good. Like you can kind of tell who's like real. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so yes, you can add ROMs, but I personally would not do that. It defeats the entire purpose of these things. So, how is the performance in comparison to other Kinhank models, the X3, X4, etc.? This is way better than those consoles. So again, going back to what I said about why there's only 16,000 games is because this has the newer, more modern, I don't want to say they're newer consoles, but they're more modern for something of this nature. Like it has PS2, it has GameCube. It only has one Switch game for some awkward reason. However, you you do technically get Yuzu, so I mean, I guess that is a benefit because you can't find that anywhere right now, anywhere safe that I'm aware of at least. So this was aimed at those like newer, more modern consoles, so it performs much better than those, and the library is much more good. I don't want to say good. That's not accurate, but you get my point. It's like more clean, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. Oh man. I'm losing my spots here. Can it handle 4K output or just upscale? Or upscale. So I kind of just barely explained that with the PS2. Like it's perfectly fine if you go into the PS2 emulator and just upscale it to 4K. It doesn't have an issue with that. So does it include controllers, have input lag, or connection issues? So actually, this is actually something that I ran into a problem with when I was getting into these little consoles. I thought it was the consoles just being garbage and just being trash. So if you don't have a TV that has game mode, like there's a game mode on the more modern TVs, or if you do not have a monitor that has game mode, or if it's not just a dedicated gaming monitor, because if it's a gaming monitor, you don't. I mean, you can technically go into the settings and enable super ultra fast response or whatever, which you should do. But for the most part, it's going to be good out of the box, regardless of whether or not you tinker with the settings. So if you do not have a gaming monitor or a TV with game mode, it is going to lag. But that has nothing to do with the console. It has to do with the display that you're using. So whether it doesn't have any input lag, the console it doesn't, but even like the cheap little $50 ones don't have input lag. So as far as I'm concerned, none of them have any input lag. It has much more to do with the display that you're using. So how is the cooling? Does it get hot after a few hours? I'm just going to be blatantly honest and blatantly like real with this one. I've never checked that. As far as like overheating and the system crashing, I've never run into that problem. The only issue that I've ever run into with this thing was the Dolphin emulator was out of date, and I had to go and update that emulator. That's literally the only thing that I've ever had to do with this console, and it seems to be pretty common with other people. Like the Dolphin emulator is not running well for them. And the reason it's not running well for them is because they either didn't update the system, which if you read the directions the console comes with, it tells you to do that, or they didn't go to the Dolphin emulator and update that, which again, it's using Android. You update everything just like you would do on your phone. So does it support retro achievements or save states across systems? So as far as save states, yes. As far as retro achievements, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's like built into RetroArch or Arch or however you want to pronounce it there, pronunciation warrior. That's about to correct me. I'm pretty sure that's like built into RetroArch, so you'd have to go into the RetroArch settings and enable that. But so yes, but I don't know if it's like set as default. However, I'm guessing if you want that enabled, you kind of know how to do that. And if you don't know how to do that, you literally just use the internet, use YouTube, how to enable retro achievements in RetroArch. and you can enable that because it does have RetroArch on it. You might need to update it, but it does use that. So next up, how does it handle multiplayer, local and online, if any? It doesn't have multiplayer. That is not a thing with emulators. You don't, no emulator, like that's just a lawsuit from Nintendo waiting to happen. You can't, I mean, I'm pretty sure there have been like some online, like browser based things that do that, but I don't think that at least from what I'm aware of, dude, I don't think there's a single emulator out there that has online play right now. I know that there have been things that have attempted this in the past, because it's something that I was also interested in when I was getting into this thing. It would have been so cool to be able to play Super Mario with my buddy, halfway across the state. I think it would be kind of cool to do that, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think it does that. So the next question, can you use your own controllers like 8-bit do or Xbox pads? I use the Xbox controller with this. So the only problem with that is if you use the Xbox controller, if you're browsing the interface, it's going to be perfectly fine. Or if you're like me and you want to use a Nintendo 64 controller for the Nintendo 64 console or a GameCube controller for the GameCube, I completely understand that. I do that as well because those controllers are Nintendo. They're just like, Nintendo's just like, hey, here's our awkward, weird controller that no other console is even remotely similar to. So it's going to be impossible to play any of our games with a different controller because it's a funky controller, not to mention the layout. So anyways, yes, you can use your own you can use your own controllers, including 8-bit do, including other wireless controllers and all of that kind of stuff, but you are going to need to go into the emulator settings, at least other than RetroArch, because so if you're using RetroArch, like the Super Nintendo emulator, the Sega Genesis emulator, I'm not 100% sure whether or not the Nintendo 64 is using RetroArch, because I do understand there are some Nintendo 64 emulators in that, now at least. But anyways, like GameCube, PS2, which even that is in RetroArch now, but this is using a dedicated PS2 emulator. And then so Nintendo 64, Dolphin, PS2. What would be another one on this? So those three emulators, I do know that you're going to have to go into the settings and configure your controller, because it doesn't have that feature like RetroArch where just like, oh, hey, this guy plugged in a Nintendo 64 controller and it like automatically like detects that you're doing that. But if you just want to browse the interface or the Kinhank interface, you can you can do that. Like you can enable the settings with the new controller and all of that kind of stuff. Like you don't have to use the controller that it comes with to enable your new controller. Like you can actually do all of that with the new controller. So yes, I personally, like the controller it comes with it actually is really good. It's not bad at all. It's actually a really good controller. Like it literally feels like a PS2 controller, or not a PS2, PS4 controller. And I don't know, I don't mind it at all. Whew. And actually, speaking of that, what did I just say? I'm getting so old, I forget all the time, bro. What was I gonna say? I know I was gonna say something. Controller. Right, dude. I forgot what I was gonna say. It might come up, and we still have a bunch of questions. So, is the Android interface easy to use, or does it feel like a janky TV box? I mean, it's not like, I'm not gonna say. I mean, in all honesty, it kind of feels. If I'm just being real, it kind of feels like a janky TV box, and it doesn't really. It's kind of what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I personally don't mind it, but it is. I mean, it's kind of like a TV box, I guess. That's kind of a weird question, because I don't think like the Google TVs, the Android TVs, they all feel weird. I don't. using a controller, I don't really like that. I don't really like that feeling. So next question. How well do the built-in games actually run? Are there duplicates or broken ROMs? As far as I haven't run into any broken ROMs. As far as built-in games, I haven't run into any problems with running the games other than the Dolphin emulator. I did have to update the system and the emulator in order to get that one to work. But that's the only issue that I've run into. As far as like duplicates, I mean, there are some duplicates. I haven't found one of these that don't have duplicates, if I'm just being real. So next question, how big of a difference is there between the 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, and smaller storage versions? I didn't, I mean, this is where the website, I'm so glad that I opened this and showed you guys that. This is where this website would come into play. Really the only difference with the bigger, more storage ones is they have newer consoles. They don't necessarily have more games, but they have newer consoles which have bigger files, which means that they need bigger drives in order to store more games. And then, like, at least for me, the best part of the bigger storage ones, like, it's kind of like a default when you get to the 4 terabyte territory, is the video playback. That that to me, at least, that in and of itself makes it worth it, because when you're browsing these games, you get the box art, you get the game description, you get a little snapshot of the gameplay, and then it starts playing the actual game. And that's so hypnotizing. That's it really is. Like 90% of my time on these things, I literally just browse through all of the games, and like, it's just really what I do, and I mean, it's pretty enjoyable for me. I have fun with it. But that's really the big difference between them. Like from the 64 gigabyte versions, like you get the little SD card ones that are like $20. Like, and then you get into like the 512 terabyte, or yeah, can you imagine? Oh my God. Gigabyte, and then you get the 1 terabyte, then you get the 2 terabyte, and then once you get into that 4 terabyte, that's when the game footage starts coming into play. That's when for me, that's where like that's where you should be going. Like, that's where, at least for me, dude, at least for me, man, that's kind of where the ones where you just browsing and you get like you get a little quick glimpse of the box art. I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean, if that's all you really want to do, that's where I would say people should really just install Launchbox. And I mean, it might take you like a couple of hours to kind of figure out the interface. It is free. You don't have to pay for it or anything. It's just a user interface that you can install on a computer. Um, you'd have to get your own ROMs, but like you download that. It asks you to import your ROMs, and then it literally just got like, you don't have to like look up any tutorials. Until after everything is done. It asks you, do you want front box art, back box art, snapshot gameplay, scrape this data, scrape that data, this, and you just read it. You just check each box. Next, check box. Do you want to install RetroArch? Check this box. What console are you importing? This box. So it literally guides you through it. Like, it's just, you look, dude, I'm pretty dumb. I'm stupid. Okay, if it's not obvious, I'm pretty dumb. All right, and if I'm capable of doing that, because I do have Launchbox on my computer, my little work computer, so like, it's safe. You can even Google it. Say, is Launchbox safe? It'll tell you it's safe. Here, I'll do it for you. Since is Launchbox safe, their little AI will even tell me. Why am I so lagging today? Is it my internet? Or Chrome is out of date, right? How much you want to bet? Another update, right? An error occurred while checking for updates, unable to connect to the internet. Wonderful. So it says I'm connected to the internet there, bro. What do you mean? Network settings. Connected. Okay, well, apparently I'm not connected to the internet, but I'm actually connected to the internet. Okay. Good job, Google. Well, okay. Now I completely forgot where I'm at. So that's so weird. It literally says I'm connected to the internet right now. There we go. We're back online, I guess. Oh, I told you. Told you. There's the update right there. Good job, Google. Please tell me there's no private information. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get back here. I'm so glad I opened this before I even. How big of a difference is there between the two? I already covered that. Can you use it as a normal Android box for YouTube, Netflix, etc.? You can. Look, man. I don't want to be that guy that's all paranoid and claims that it's unsafe. But I personally would not put any of my information into anything of this nature. It's the whole reason that I don't use my own computer for this stuff. Okay. There's always going to be a risk when you're grabbing these things. Like when you're getting an emulator, when you're getting the ROMs, when you're getting all of this crap, there's millions and millions and millions, literally millions of files on these things. Okay. And there's always that chance there's a little Trojan attached to a freaking letter of a description of one of these games. Like, so I don't do that. Like, I personally do not put any of my this is the whole reason I have a dedicated computer for this stuff, okay? Not my work computer. I don't install any of that other than Launchbox, which I apparently am not connected to the internet, even though I'm connected to the internet because Google is just apparently really extremely smart. An error occurred. Okay, good job there, Google. You're so smart. I really don't understand why I'm not apparently connected to the internet. Right, let me actually try this. Is it just Google being dumb? Oh, I'm not connected to the internet, apparently. Well, no idea what's happening. Is it worth buying for beginners or should you just build your own mini PC? Again, going back to what, brother, relax. I really am. I'm kind of concerned here. Why is it not working? I'm freaking out. Is it worth buying for beginners or should you just build your own mini PC? So, I mean, it really depends, dude. Are you just looking to play games? If you're just looking to play games and you're just like I don't want to be disrespectful because there are some people that do this kind of stuff that are very talented and know how to set this stuff up. But if I'm really honest with this one, okay, there's like three types of people into this stuff. There's one, people like me that are going through a midlife crisis and just really want to re-experience the memories from their childhood and have a good time both playing the games and also browsing the games. Like I said, 90% of my time is just like browsing through these things, which is why I have so many of them, is because each one of them brings back a new experience and new memories for me. There's the second type of person that literally does nothing but, again, no disrespect to these people. You can do whatever you want with your life, man. If you like playing video games, I have no problem with that. I like playing video games too, okay? I don't care if you do this, but this is the second type of person. There's a second type of person that literally does nothing but play games all day, every single day. Okay, if you're that type of person and all you want to do is play the games from every single console that has ever been released and you do not care about browsing through the games, okay, then yes, you can just simply Google your stuff and grab it all, you know? And then there's the third person that literally just, again, no disrespect to this dude, okay? It is what it is. And it's like, I guess I'm technically this person too. We all are if you're into this stuff, okay? There's a third type of person that wants this new PC game, this new Switch game, this new PS whatever 5 game that is literally a PC game when you get this. If it says it's a PS5, it's just a PC game. And then they just want free games, okay? They just want free games. And again, yes, Super Nintendo, you're technically getting free games, but whatever, it is what it is. So you get my point, dude. Like there's three types of people. So you can set these up yourself. even though I know how to do this, like I have Launchbox on my computer with a few consoles and a few games from those consoles that I like and I enjoy. But I mean, I like never use it. I use the consoles. So yeah, that's a really hard question to like give a direct answer to. Next question. Is the HDMI output stable or does it randomly lose signal like older Kinhanks? I'm gonna be honest, I never run into that issue. So I don't even know. I have run into that problem with HDMI cables specifically, but the consoles, that has nothing to do with the consoles. That has to do with the HDMI cable, which I guess technically that could be why, because I don't the HDMI cables these things come with, including the HDMI cables that monitors come with, they're like freaking like 3 feet, dude. It's like your phone or these like literally I just got this watch. Oh, hey, thanks for this charger. Like I really appreciate this like 2 foot charger. What? That's so convenient. That's so convenient right there. Like thank you for this 2 foot charger. Or you get your microphone. It comes with like a 3 foot wire. Oh, hey, thanks microphone for giving me my 3 foot wire. I'll go ahead and buy a 20 foot wire since you didn't seem to think that was important. Or your keyboard wires. Oh, hey, thanks for your 3 foot keyboard. It's almost like I don't need a wire or cable that's longer than that. So, anyways, back to the question. So back to the question. So the HDMI, I haven't run into any problems with this because I always use my own HDMI cables because they're longer than 2 foot. You incredibly genius of a human being company that's including 2 foot cables with everything. Who without a so I use my own cables, and so I honestly did not even know that was a thing. So I can't answer that honestly. But so yeah, I don't know. The one I have doesn't do that. So I thought that was HDMI cable. There's also HDMI cables that lie. They say they're 4K, but if you plug it, I mean, you might not be able to tell like on a 4K monitor, but if you plug it into a 4K TV, it's blurred out the Balooza and it is absolutely not 4K, even if your computer is telling you it's 4K. You need to buy certified HDMI cables. Next up, does the sound output glitch or desync on certain emulators? Again, I mean, I've tried PS2, I've tried GameCube, I've tried none of those right there. I've tried Game Boy Advance, I've tried Sega Genesis Master System, Nintendo 64, again PS2, PS1, Super Nintendo. Yo, chill. Switch, which there's literally one friggin' game. It's Contra. And those are the only consoles that I've tested on this thing and played. So I can't. Those are the only. None of those ones have had any glitches, but all the other ones, I haven't tested. And that would be the emulators. That wouldn't necessarily be the console. So if you're running into a problem like that, you literally just update the emulator and it should fix it. But yeah, that really is. It's super. It says I'm connected. It's really irritating me. I don't know why I'm like obsessed about it right now. Please, because it does when it does this, it means it's out of date and it's pissing me off right now. All right. So can you update the firmware or emulators, man? Yes. Is it really worth the price or is it just another AliExpress console with a new shell? I'm just gonna be real with you. It's just another AliExpress console with a new shell. That's just me being real. It's just another AliExpress console with a bunch of games, but it has again each one of these is the same thing. They're all using either Emulate or Retrobat. They're all using the exact same thing, but they have different interfaces. Okay, that's what I was thinking of earlier because I forgot to write that. Nobody asked that question, but the other question is can you install like new themes or new interfaces like this right here, like this is animatrix or animatrix or whatever. Whoa, dude, relax with the audio. Please tell me I don't have that enabled. Okay, I don't have it enabled. So like this is like you can install like new interfaces like this if you want to do that kind of stuff. Because I love this interface. This interface is awesome. You got the Atari here. And then there's also really is annoying the shit out of me, dude. That's not working. Is it? I wonder if it's my memory. Oh my god, rip. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this so I know how to edit, or so that I remember to edit the end of this. Now that I just showed my email, like an absolute genius of a human being, an error occurred. It's really pissing me off. Well, I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you have any other question, I'm pretty sure that answers almost every single one of them. I covered the big hitters, and yeah, the last one I remembered installing a theme. You can install themes if you would like to, and I've done that. It does come with like 5 different ones pre-installed, so you can just choose the one that you want to choose. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.